Hey, sixth graders, are you sick of me yet? It's been a lot of videos just in the last 2 days, and a Zoom if you attended that. So we're going to keep going on our parts of speech. Now, again, technically, we spend all year going over this in school. So it's a lot of information, and again, there's lots of subtopics underneath each one. We're just kind of getting the tip of the iceberg in terms of parts of speech, but that way you guys are prepared for next year. So the next one we're going to talk about are prepositions. And I can read you the definition, and I will, but it's hard to understand. I even had to look it up how to put it in the right words for you guys, and because it doesn't quite make sense. I can point them out, and we can talk about them, but the actual definition is kind of hard to. I would say that it's abstract, like our abstract nouns from yesterday. So I found a video that I really like how he describes this, and it's a little bit funny. So let's jump into that. All right, get open for you guys. All right, here we go.
Hey, grammarians, I want to talk about prepositions, but before I do, I'm going to draw you a little hamster. Is it a hamster? Is it a tiny bear? Who knows? We're just going to call it a hamster, a little rodent-type creature. Now I'm going to use this critter to establish what prepositions are and what they do, because in addition to there being a hamster, there's also going to be this box. So what prepositions do is they establish relationships between stuff in place and time. So it can show us where things are, when things are, and how things are. Let me demonstrate. So using just this hamster and this box, we can move this box around and talk about how the hamster relates to the box. Right? So right now, the box is under the hamster. Let's write that down. Right? The box is under the hamster. That word under is a preposition because it's establishing this relationship of where. It's connecting the box to the hamster. The box is under the hamster. But if I move it up like so, now we can say the box is over the hamster. But let's get rid of the box. And let's imagine that our hamster is having a midlife crisis. And our hamster decides it's going to go out and it's going to splurge on a fabulous new hat. Just an enormous top hat. Little band in the center. Just a big, old, silly Abe Lincoln-style stovepipe top hat. Ding. Now, another use for prepositions is we can talk about when things are in relation to each other. So I could say before the hamster got the hat and after the hamster got the hat. Right? And these words after and before express relationships in time. But another interesting thing that prepositions can do is they can also help express how something is or what it's for, what its use is. So we could say that this hat is for parties or is for wearing at parties. Oh, and at also is a preposition. This hat is for wearing at parties. So this is the how, and this part is the where. So what's the purpose of the hat? Well, we established that with the word for. The hat is for wearing. And where is it supposed to be worn? At parties. That's the where. We can also use a word like of to express the how relationship. And that's just sort of to say what belongs to whom. So we could say, that is the hat of the hamster. That is the hat of the hamster. So that's what prepositions are in the most basic sense. They can help you figure out what the relationship is between two things in time and space, or how one thing relates to another. So you can figure out when, where, and how using prepositions. You can learn anything. David out.
All right, so I like how he described that prepositions show the relationship of stuff. Very, very technical terms. So above, of, at, for, beyond, many, many, many. I think I've shared with you guys when I was a kid, we learned them to the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel. I could not find that one, but I did find one that these are the ones, and there's more than just this, but these are sung to the tune of Yankee Doodle. I am not going to sing it, but I will let you listen to it.
A board about above, across against along around, being along after adding stuff to me down. Behind, below, beneath, beside, between, before, beyond, lying from off on or up until unto upon, under, underneath, since up like near, past, through, out, through, within, without, outside, to inside, into, to.
I will pause it there. You do not have to sing that. I will have to look for the one that I sang as a kid with Pop Goes the Weasel, because the ones that we did were in ABC order. So, and these aren't. That's okay. So let's see if they give us a practice page for this. I went a little ahead in my slides. Okay. So here's some examples with an apple tree, or with an apple anyway. The apple is above the tree. The apple is over the tree. It is behind the tree. It is in the tree or inside the tree. It is against the tree, beside the tree, under the tree, below the tree. We could even say beneath the tree or near the tree. So those are just some examples. And again, a lot of these do with where. They do with location. Okay, the apple is of the tree would be another one that you guys can use. Okay. So again, these are the small words that connect the noun that comes after it to the rest of the sentence. Sometimes there are those small words that are hard to identify when we are doing the parts of speech. So let's test your knowledge. Underline the prepositional phrases. On Sunday, the dog jumped through the hoop. Now there are two there. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller if I can. I don't think I can though. That's all right. It gives us a when and it gives us a where. When did the dog jump through the hoop? Hopefully you guys are screaming, on Sunday, Mrs. Henderson. Yep. On is a preposition, and Sunday is the object of that prepositional phrase. Where did the dog jump? You got it, through the hoop. Number 2, we ate dinner under a shady tree. Is there a where, a when, or a how we ate supper? There's definitely a where. Under a shady tree. Now I could stick the on Sunday up over here. We ate supper under a shady tree, and that would be another prepositional phrase. Number 3, Janie walked with her mother to the mall. Once you start to identify them, they kind of have a certain cadence to them. Oftentimes the prepositional phrases are 3 words. So where did Janie walk? And with whom did she walk? Well, she walked with her mother to the mall. Okay, now Janie walked by itself could be a sentence, not a great sentence, but there's a subject and a predicate. But these are those special extra words that connect this part to that part. So Janie walked with her mother to the mall. Number 4, Bob planted the tree near the garden. Where did he plant it? Near the garden. Jenna ran into a friend during lunch. Who did she run into, or whom did she run into? Into a friend. And when? During lunch. Those are prepositional phrases. Not the ran. That wouldn't. Let's see if I can scoot it over. There we go. Because that's the noun, that's the verb, subject, predicate, so that's not going to be a prepositional phrase. Number 6, Tammy lives down the street from Ben. Wow, Ben is in here a lot. All right, so Tammy, where does she live? She lives down the street. But there's even more information than that from Ben. Okay. 7, Karen leaned against the green lockers. Where did she lean? Against the green lockers. Let me get the long one. Oh, just not long. Okay. And I can stretch it out if I want to. All right. And 8, since June, Margot has lived with her mother. So really, Margot has lived is just the bare bones of the sentence. Everything else is a prepositional phrase. And once you start to notice them, they're everywhere. You guys use them all the time. When has she lived with her mother? Since June. And who does she live with? Her mother. Okay, so really that's just the bare bones of the sentence. Everything else is a prepositional phrase. Okay, great job. So let's go back and do some of those on our Anne Frank page. Preposition. We're up 2 more after this. Okay. So I know you guys don't have a whole lot of room. So in, under, you could do between, outside, of. I'll do of. Okay. A preposition is used to form a prepositional phrase, which consists of a preposition and its noun or pronoun. They show relationships between items in a sentence. Again, it just relates stuff to stuff, like the guy said in the video. Anne wrote in her diary while sitting at the kitchen table. In her diary, at the kitchen table. So write a couple of those down, and then let's jump to our, I think conjunctions are coming up next. Nope, interjections come next. All right, so this was like the first week of school, maybe second week of school lesson, so if you don't remember, that's okay. But these are those small words that are thrown in between sentences to express sudden feelings. So we're going to circle the interjections. Wow, I just received a letter in the mail. Gee, I wonder who it's from. Wow, the envelope is sealed tight. Ouch, I got a paper cut. So I hope that was obvious. Wow is an interjection because that's exactly what it does. It interjects some emotion. And it breaks up the monotony of long sentences, especially when you guys are writing stories or writing narratives. Gee, not a word we say too often, although I say wow a lot, probably too much. There it is again. Wow. Could be oh no, could be watch out. Often they're 1 or 2 words. Ouch. It's interjecting itself before the rest of the sentence. Those are interjections. All right, that's pretty much it for that one. So let's go back and give us some examples. Interjections. They say, hey, Peter was allowed to bring his cat. That's not fair. Okay. Wow. Hey. Ouch. Peter's cat scratched me. Oh no. All the beans are falling down the stairs. Okay. Makes narratives interesting. I'm sure Anne uses a lot of these. We could go flip to the book and find some interjections. And those are just some examples. Okay. All right, our last one, conjunctions. And I recommend that you guys write or read, not read, let's try another verb, watch. How's that one? Watch the Schoolhouse Rock's conjunction, junction, what's your function. It's a great video. So you don't have to, but it's always fun to watch. So a conjunction joins words, phrases, and sentences together. There's the basic ones, and then we learned some fancier ones this year when we made our complex and our complex compound sentences. So we'll look at those too. Okay, so one last one. All right. So again, conjunctions join. They're very similar to the links and linking verbs. They connect. Okay, so I bought the milk nor the eggs. Nope. I bought the milk so the eggs. I bought the milk for the eggs. I bought the milk. This feels like an and situation. I bought the milk and the eggs. Okay, so in this case, they all have different purposes. This one is a combination of the two. Blank, do I need a pen? Blank, a pencil. Do you guys have the answer yet? I would say not only do I need a pencil, but, not only do I need a pen, but a pencil. So when you guys use but, I know we all laugh when we say it in class, that is showing opposition, so an opposite. So not only do I need a pen, now I also need a pencil. Tom didn't answer the door, so I left. Okay. So we know that fanboy is the acronym that we used for and, nor, but, or, and yet. Okay. So is also on there. Blank and Ed is able to attend. Neither Ann nor Ed. Okay, neither and nor often go together. We don't use nor very often, but it's a nice, breaks up the monotony of using or all the time. Okay, that's pretty basic. That is the last part of speech. So go ahead and write. Let's go back to our Ann. Over here, I would write fanboy. Hopefully that'll help you remember. I'm sorry, fanboys. Let's do that. Fan boys. You're going to look back at that tomorrow and say, what does that mean? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. Those are all your kind of like simple basic conjunctions. They're not the subordinating conjunctions that we used earlier for complex and compound sentences, but these are the basic ones. Okay, so I want to offer you guys some extra credit and a challenge. Honestly, knowing parts of speech has helped me a lot as a teacher. But going through high school and college, and especially in college, I think I told you guys, we had to diagram sentences in college. We had to know all the parts of speech. I knew it from elementary school. My husband didn't, and we had some college classes together. So this will come in handy, I promise, especially if you're thinking of writing it all for a living or teaching. So here's a challenge for you. If I can go back. All right. So this is the final test. Now you can pause this and read all the colors and write it for me in color coordinated, where you change the nouns to red, the verbs to blue, and so on. Or if you just skip lines when you write it out on a lined piece of paper, and then underneath write what wow is, what I is, what never, and it's a lot. And it's a lot, even though it's one paragraph. If you can tell me what every single word is, that would be amazing. Not many adults could do that. In fact, you may want to test your parents and say, okay, ready, set, go. Who can name as many parts of speech as possible? I have a feeling they might forget the interjections one. So if you can do that, I will give you a shout out in the next video. I will try and send you something if I can, give you some dojo points, but extra credit. I will do, gosh, this is a lot. I'm willing to give you 5 points extra credit on this assignment when you guys turn in the answer page. Okay? All right, so speaking of answer page, let's go. So we did this. We're going to come down here, the 8 parts of speech activity. So you're going to write the parts of speech underneath each one. Now what I want you guys to do is I want you to pause the video and I want you to do this on your own. If you can only do 3, that's fine. If you can do half of them, that's even better. But pause the video, stare at the screen, read each sentence, and fill them in. In fact, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds before I start giving you guys the answers. All right, so before entering the attic, Anne enjoyed the company of a boy named Peter. So here are your choices up here: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, conjunction, preposition, and, hey, interjections. All right, so before, hopefully you guys know that that is a pronoun. I'm sorry, preposition. I was trying to figure out an abbreviation for it. Preposition. Pronoun came out because they both start with PR. Okay, entering the attic, that's a place, so that's a noun. Anne enjoyed, it's something she did, it's the verb. And what did she enjoy? The company, that's a noun. Okay, so try number 2. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Van Don are both selfish and greedy. What is hey? What is and? Are and selfish. Hopefully you guys put interjection for that one. And hopefully you guys know is a conjunction. Are is a verb. And this would be a linking verb because they equal what? Selfish. So that would be an adjective. Okay. Number 3, Anne seriously has to settle down with her emotions. Try and do that. What is seriously? What is down? Her and emotions. Well, emotions, I know that's a thing. That's going to be a noun. Her. Now, it's not, go with her. It's her emotions. So this is describing emotions. And emotions are a noun. So this is going to be an adjective. A possessive pronoun can definitely be an adjective. All right, so seriously is an adverb. Ends in ly. Hopefully that was obvious to you. Has to settle down. Now you're probably thinking, but that's a preposition. We just learned that. But there's no phrase after it. In fact, it starts up with another prepositional phrase. So in this case, it's actually an adverb. Where should she settle down? Okay, adverb. Number 4, Anne had to leave her cat at home, but Peter brought his cat. So unfair. I'm hoping you guys are saying had. I know that by now, Mrs. Henderson. That's a verb. Her cat, very similar to her emotions. So it's going to be an adjective. Whose cat? Her cat. At home. At's one of those little words that connects parts of sentences. Preposition. But we just learned is a conjunction. And number 5, both Anne and her father decorated their new living space. Let's see, Anne and her father, what did they do? They decorated, so it's got to be a verb. Their new living space. Well, all of those describe space, so those have got to be adjectives. Adjectives, and then space would be the noun it's describing. All right, so you guys got off easy on this page. I could have a whole test on parts of speech where I say, okay, what kind of noun is attic, common or proper? Is it concrete or abstract? Enjoyed, what kind of verb is that? Is that linking? Is that helping? Is that action? So you got off pretty easy. So hopefully you guys have those correct. You'll use this your entire life, so hopefully it sticks. And yay! You can give yourself a round of applause. You finished the 8 parts of speech. I know it took a long time, but I enjoyed spending time with you guys. I will see you later. Oh, do make sure you send this in and your notes. So send in 204. Can I write over there? I can't. So send in 204 in a picture and 205. And just a reminder, some of you guys still owe me your vocab sentences from last week, and some of you guys still owe me BB2 on IXL. Those are 2 easy things to get done and get turned in. All right, I'll see you later.